hole of darkness. He brought me to light. He saved me. He protected me. I am protected, and he will put me and keep me safely in the secret chambers of his tabernacle. Thank you, Father. Thank you, thank you. I love you, Lord.
Michael Jackson's life changed forever with his trial for child molestation in 2005. He was acquitted, but his reputation was in tatters. By 2009, he was suffering financially and was even more isolated. In court, the prosecution produced footage of the rehearsals as evidence that Michael was on his way back to his best. But the judge declined the defense's request to show outtakes from the documentary that they believe would reveal Jackson was struggling.
What about all the dreams that you said was yours and mine?
The producer, Kenny Ortega, had made several statements. He was going to quit. This could not go on. If Michael was not going to do what he was expected to do, they could not have a show. And they could not get Michael to conform to what they wanted. Michael, on the other hand, was saying they were working him too much. He did not want to be worked as a machine. He felt like a machine.
Kenny Ortega, the director of This Is It, warned of Michael's poor condition in an email sent 5 days before Jackson died.
My concern is he appeared quite weak and fatigued this evening. He had a terrible case of the chills, was trembling, rambling, and obsessing. Tonight I was feeding him, wrapping him in blankets to warm his chills. I believe that he really wants this. It would shatter him, break his heart if we pulled the plug. He's terribly frightened it's all going to go away. He was like a lost boy. Sincerely, Kenny.
With all 50 shows sold out, Ortega's email had an immediate impact. A crisis meeting was called at Jackson's home with Michael, Ortega, Dr. Murray, and Randy Phillips, the CEO of AEG Live, the concert promoters.
Dr. Murray spoke for Michael on the situation and guaranteed us that Michael would get into it, would connect.
According to Murray, Randy Phillips took him aside to warn him of the dire financial consequences to Jackson if the London concerts were cancelled.
That's when I got the shock. Randy Phillips asked that I just step out the living room when the meeting had ended. And this is him, grinding his teeth. He does not have a fucking cent. A fucking cent. What's this bullshit all about? Listen, this guy is next to Skid Row. He's going to be homeless. The fucking popsicles that his children are sucking on. Look, those kids. What's that all about? 9 security guards? Why does he need that? I'm paying for that shit. I'm paying for the toilet paper he wipes his ass with. He doesn't have a fucking cent. And if he don't get this show done, he's over. This is it. This is the last chance that he has to earn any kind of money. He's ruined. Financially, he has nothing. Zero.
Under oath, Randy Phillips denied any such conversation.
You did not go to Dr. Murray after the meeting and tell him anything?
No.
All right. You don't know if Kenny Ortega did?
No. We all left together, so I don't think so.
Only 2 people will ever know whether that conversation took place. Jackson's problems at rehearsals stemmed from his physical weakness and his recurrent insomnia. Years before, he had turned to propofol, a powerful anesthetic, as a drastic measure to get to sleep. Jackson called it his milk. Murray admits that he first gave Jackson propofol only after becoming his personal physician.
He spoke as if, because of this current concept, he needed to get sleep so he can compose properly, be ready for the performances, and this was only because of the "this is it" concept.
Days before Michael's death, Murray claims Jackson's craving for sleep intensified.
He said, "I want 15 to 18 hours of sleep. That's what most doctors gave me. Give me 10 minutes. Give me 20 minutes. And I said to him, why would 10 minutes help you? It doesn't make sense. How would 20 minutes make a difference? Oh, it will, it really helps me. It doesn't, I can really, I'm composing. I'm at this stage of the production.
By week 3 of the trial, the testimony of the prosecution's expert witnesses is devastating.
Using propofol for the management of insomnia. It's inconceivable.
In 2009, Murray gave a statement to the police in which he set out how he used propofol with Jackson. The prosecution's interpretation of this statement is hotly contested by the defense, but Michael Flanagan is struggling to make any headway.
Never said he gave a drip.
I disagree with you. He gave a drip. It says here. Dr. Murray goes, the dose and the drip. Line 22, he says it. This is about that night. Same dose and drip.
Flanagan got to wake up. He needs a lot of coffee and some Pit Bull or Red Bull for after lunch and end the story.
Didn't you understand that to be referring to what he had handled before? Fine?
No, I don't see it that way.
This is why I said I'm available. Ask me questions. I am the source. Talk to me. Spend time with me. Get to understand it. I'm available. So when you go up there and you're fumbling around like that, of course it pisses me off today.
Probably should have controlled them a little bit better. I've tried a lot of jury trials, but I'll tell you right now, I've never lost a case in which I felt my client was certifiably innocent. This could be the first. Yeah.
Rehearsal footage of Michael Jackson is submitted as evidence of his well-being. It was recorded after the crisis meeting at Michael's house, and, according to the doctor, after he had started weaning the pop star off his reliance on propofol. 2 nights before Michael's death, Murray claims, he finally got Jackson to sleep without administering any propofol. Jackson's performances in those final days were a transformation.
He entered into rehearsal full of energy, full of desire to work, full of enthusiasm, and it was a different Michael. We had 2 very successful days at rehearsal. Michael was feeling great, and he looked at me and he asked me if I was happy, and I said I was happy, and I asked him if he was happy, and he said he was very happy.
As you now know, he never returned to Staples Center. Following that rehearsal, Michael was taken home, and he arrived home at about 1 o'clock in the morning. The question becomes, what transpired then from 1 o'clock in the morning till Michael's death?
Jackson was driven home by his entourage. Even at this late hour, his fans were waiting.
They would pull up to the front door. I would help opening his door. And the fans always gave him a lot of gifts, a lot of cards or flowers.
And he asked us to stop so that he can take some time to speak with his fans. So he spoke with his fans for maybe 60 seconds. And we would take the gifts and place them at his steps. And he would greet us before he went upstairs, good night, or whatever he would say.
He said good night, and that was it.
Was that the last time you saw him alive?
That's the last time I saw him, yes, sir.
It had been another good rehearsal. Jackson was excited but needed to sleep. At approximately 2 a.m., Murray says he administered some Valium and lorazepam, but refused to give him any propofol. At 3 a.m., the doctor gave him another drug, midazolam. Jackson still didn't go to sleep.
He was basically hysterical. He really could not sleep. And he begged and pleaded and asked me, please, please, Dr. Conrad, I need some milk so that I can sleep. If I don't get any sleep today, I could not perform. I could not do anything. AG will be upset. Everything will basically go down the drain. He looked to me during that morning to be like the Thriller. Have you ever seen the Thriller image that when he was made up? He looked that hysterical. Now, I did not want to give him the medication because I'm trying to show him a different path. But here's the pressure that he puts on me now. He can't practice, can't go to concert. AG is gonna be on him. The tour will fall apart. This is it. It's over for this man if he does not make this happen. I fought and struggled. I rubbed his feet. I felt such a weight. I was so worried about this man who's my friend, thinking about where AG promises future would lie. Wow.
Dawn. Despite the drugs Murray had given him, Jackson still couldn't sleep. Murray says that the singer retreated to his other private bedchamber.
You know, there were several times he would walk away from me and go to the other room. And to me, that was a break. That was a break. Because the longer he stayed away, the less I had to deal with the fact that I couldn't get him to sleep. After he begged and pleaded, I said, you know what? If I give him just a tiny amount of propofol, 25 milligrams, slowly infused, I may just tip him into sleep. And the other medications may now get a chance to work because he had a fair amount of medication on board. And the medications he had on board, I even told him before we got to that point, Michael, I can put an elephant to sleep. You're not, this is not normal. It's not normal. He fell asleep. I was very pleased.
It was 10:50 in the morning. Murray says he then watched over Jackson for 25 minutes. The effects of 25 milligrams of propofol wear off in about 10 minutes. At 11:15 a.m., Murray began making phone calls.